violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
On May 12, 38-year-old Angel Smith, pregnant at the time, and Yamel Montague were found on a street in East Baltimore with fatal gunshot wounds. They were inside a car.
And we did that story. If you guys remember, if you don't, then go back and watch the video. But we did this story, guys, and it just goes to show that these super gremlins don't care, man. They don't care. Killing women, pregnant women, children, doesn't matter. These super gremlins are on demon time.
The incident, part of an increasing trend where the crime scene is mobile.
We are saying that. It speaks to the, number one, the mobility of today's offender. Today's offender is much more mobile than it was 5, 10, or 20 years ago.
Why are they acting like drive-bys just started happening? And I know it used to be an LA thing. That was more of an LA thing. Okay, but they're acting like super gremlins ain't been spinning the block and doing drive-bys, man. It's crazy.
And because people are all over, and although people live in a neighborhood, the city is wide open and crime has no boundaries.
Since the beginning of the year, more than 15 victims in homicides in Baltimore were found in vehicles, 2 over this past weekend, including a woman found in a car Sunday morning in South Baltimore.
Hold on, did y'all hear that? Let's run it back.
Year, more than 15 victims in homicides in Baltimore were found in vehicles.
Damn. More than 15 homicides were found in vehicle just this year.
The city is wide open and crime has no boundaries.
Since the beginning of the year, more than 15 victims in homicides in Baltimore were found in vehicles, 2 over this past weekend, including a woman found in a car Sunday morning in South Baltimore. She'd been shot to death. The trend causes police to rely more on technology than expecting to find witnesses or other evidence a location, such as a house or street, might provide.
It is absolutely a challenge, but that's why we work so hard to make sure officers appropriately use the technology, like license plate readers, like the CCTV cameras, like working to put the patterns together of cars that are stolen or carjack cases where people use stolen cars to commit other crimes.
Mayor Brandon Scott sees the trend as additional evidence of the targeted and personal nature of Baltimore's violence. His administration has launched a new community violence intervention strategy.
When you talk about people that are shot in cars, and sometimes, as the commissioner said, they're being shot in cars from another car, but sometimes they're being shot from inside the car that they're sitting in, right? And when people, are shot and killed inside a building, and there's no forced entry, right? Or they're shot inside of a business where there's no forced entry. What that is telling you is that they're being shot by people they know. It speaks to the change in nature and the personal nature of so many of these acts of violence that make us have to think about things a little differently, right?
And Mayor Brandon Scott is absolutely doing a horrible job in controlling the crime. And I guess you can't totally put it on him, but every time the crime issue comes up, he's looking to displace the blame from the actual perpetrators of the crimes, which are these super gremlins, on demon time.
We're gonna always make sure that the police are doing everything they need to do and expanding on what they can do to help interact with these and intervene in these acts of violence. But it also means that we have to have a deeper sense of how we can deal with it as a community.
In the case of 2 people found shot in the car here on May 12th, victim Angel Smith gave birth to her baby before she died. That baby has survived. The investigation of the case remains open and active, according to a police spokesperson. In East Baltimore, I'm Jane Miller, WBAL TV 11 News.
So with summer on and gas prices high, a lot of D.C. area residents look to Baltimore and its iconic Inner Harbor for a colorful day trip getaway that's, well, easier on the wallet than a further distance traveled. But the city is suffering through a crime wave that's become a major issue in Maryland's upcoming gubernatorial election.
And like I told you guys, these super gremlins are messing up the business. The crime wave is keeping travelers and tourists away from a lot of major cities like New Orleans, all right, Atlanta, Baltimore, LA. Okay, you even had it so much that the LA police commissioner said not to come to LA because he can't guarantee your safety. Okay, so this is all over the place. You see Fresh and Fit getting robbed in Dallas. All right, so all the major cities are suffering through a huge crime wave. It's not just Baltimore, okay? We need to look at the correlation and what things are common, and then you can actually say, hey, we need to attack this crime wave. We need to attack this crime issue.
And last night proved that even the Inner Harbor, the hub of the tourism center of Baltimore, isn't immune to the violence. Now, the mayor told us he doesn't have the luxury of caring about where in the city it happened. WSA9's Scott Broom is taking a closer look at crime there in Baltimore.
This is Baltimore's Inner Harbor, the city's iconic tourist hub. Saturday evening before sunset, it was a murder scene. Police reported 2 teens were shot, 1 died. Witnesses said the harbor was crowded with visitors at the time. A contingent of 20 police deployed to suppress crime was in the area, according to the department, but no arrests were made. Harbor visitor Derek Williams today calling for even more police.
Choose not to live in fear, but I want to be safe, and I want my family to be safe.
Today, Baltimore's 38-year-old mayor, Brandon Scott, said a murder in the Inner Harbor is no more important than a murder any other place.
I don't have the luxury of caring just because it happened in the Inner Harbor. That young man lost his life in the Inner Harbor. A young lady lost her life in South Baltimore. They're equal to me.
Baltimore is grappling with a violent weekend that left 4 dead by sunrise Monday.
Wow. 4 dead. Memorial Day weekend. It was a bloody Memorial Day weekend, y'all. And I'm trying to get to everything that happened over the weekend. But it's just so much, man. And I'm trying to keep up. I really am.
On the city's west side, exasperation.
When it's in the harbor, that's when they get up and do something because they don't want that because of the tourists and the money that generates there. So they don't want that kind of crime there. But here, it doesn't matter.
Who is they? The mayor is black. You got a black police chief. I mean, everybody in positions of power are black. So I'm trying to figure out who they is. Who is this they that she's speaking of?
Visitors also complain about Baltimore's sometimes aggressive squeegee boys who hustle for handouts at...
Wow. Water boys, squeegee boys. It's the same thing. This happens in Atlanta as well. Hey, give me $1, wipe your windshield. I didn't want my windshield wiped, okay? I got washer fluid. I just refilled it. The windshield wipers will do. I don't need none of y'all super gremlins trying to make a buck off of me for wiping off a damn windshield.
Aggressive squeegee boys who hustle for handouts.
Then he gonna slap the lady. It's crazy.
At corners offering to wash windshields.
And as governor, I'll declare a crisis. Move my office to Baltimore.
One candidate for governor, former Prince George's County Executive Rashawn Baker, is running on the crime issue.
We're going to stop the slaughter of young black men.
Current Governor Larry Hogan sent a scorching letter to Mayor Scott last week demanding a plan in writing for suppressing crime with state money.
Yep, see, he talking all that talk, and he's a Democrat, so I don't see him actually doing anything. We need some old country dude from the South to come up and just, yeah, I mean, clear all this stuff out. Because these dudes cannot get the job done, all right? These dudes are not getting the job done. They got all different types of programs, all different type of stop the violence parades, and none of that is working. They think they can stop the violence by throwing a little party and bringing free food. Finger food at that.
And what we don't need in the city of Baltimore is folks to try to politicize this.
The mayor says crime
Don't politicize this. Okay.
is not a Baltimore problem, it's a national problem. But the murder rate in Baltimore is the second highest in the country and more than double the murder rate in the District of Columbia. Woo! In Baltimore's Inner Harbor, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.
We've just closed a violent holiday weekend that left a teenager, a woman, and 2 men dead. Tonight, members of the community working to turn the focus to something positive and begging their neighbors to put the guns down. WJZ has live team coverage. Christina Mendez spoke with...
Listen to the verbiage. Begging. Begging the super gremlins to put the guns down. Not gonna happen. These super gremlins are on demon time.
With that woman who was shot inside her home and has her message for Baltimore. But we began with Annie Rose Ramos live at the Inner Harbor where 2 teenagers were gunned down over the weekend. Annie Rose.
Well, Vic, earlier today we were at a block party for peace in Sandtown that was really planned by a lot of folks who are from that neighborhood. Some even grew up on that street, Pressman Street. Now, some telling me that that block, that corner, Vic, is known for drug activity and occasional violence. But none of that happened there today.
It's music with a message while celebrating Memorial Day.
Oh, God. They brought the rappers who spew violence, hatred in their lyrics to come talk to a community that is already dealing with enough of these SoundCloud rappers / shooters trying to get on by catching bodies and sacrificing people.
In Sandtown, rapper Money J grew up here on Pressman Street.
I'm the hometown hero.
Now he's back to share a positive message along with what he believes will stop the violence.
We got too much time on our hands, and we don't got enough going on for us. Ain't no wrecks. They stopped the Pop Warner, half of the Pop Warner programs, and all that type of stuff. We need more going on.
Monday's block party meant to promote.
So the reason why they stopping all these programs is because a lot of these kids, you know, they getting shot. People bring guns to the games. Okay. There was one story I did where a coach, he saw like multiple, he almost saw like his whole starting defense gunned down. I don't remember where that was, but it happens everywhere, y'all. And this guy has the nerve to blame the time. We have too much time on our hands. Like, come on, dude.
Peace in the city. We will not have a bloody summer. Organized by the
I'm sorry to tell you, sis, but it's already plenty bloody.
Anti-violence group We Are Us.
We got to meet people where they are, on the corner.
After a bloody Memorial Day weekend in Baltimore, a triple shooting late Saturday left 2 men dead. Earlier, a 17-year-old named Neil Mack was shot and killed in the Inner Harbor. And on Sunday morning, a woman was found killed in South Baltimore.
That young man lost his life in the Inner Harbor. A young lady lost her life in South Baltimore. They're equal to me.
But back at the barbecue block party in Sandtown, a prayer for peace.
Father God, we speak life in our city.
On a corner some say is known for drug activity, being replaced with dancing and singing.
I'm glad y'all recognize us around here in Sandtown.
You know, I see what they're trying to do here, but this does not work. Unless y'all gonna throw a party every single day and occupy that corner, which by then I'm sure the super gremlins let it slide one day. They didn't shoot up the block, but after a while, you taking away their hustle, taking away their money, they finna come spin the block, and nobody's gonna be throwing no block parties anymore. So this definitely has to be like a one-off thing or annual thing, because it's gonna go back to normal. It already has.
They made like we're not that bad. They pretend that we are.
81-year-old Annie Carter.
And then she's saying, grandma's saying, oh, it ain't that bad. So if you got your grandma out here, sister grandma, big mama, out here saying it's not that bad. Oh, no, it's not that bad. You know, a couple people got killed, but it ain't that bad. There's no hope. These are the leaders in the community.
With dancing and singing.
I'm glad y'all recognize us around here in Sandtown. They made like we're not that bad. They pretend that we are.
81-year-old Annie Carter has lived on the street for nearly 30 years. She says while the violence is bad, there's good here too.
But there's some good in around here too. Everybody's not bad. The neighborhood, you know, everything is not bad.
When you're describing your neighborhood by saying, oh, everybody in here ain't bad, that's when you know the community is done for.
You know what I mean? Crime is everywhere. You know, not only around here.
And Vic, police are still investigating all of the shootings that occurred throughout the weekend, including the one that happened right here in the Inner Harbor on Saturday night that killed a 17-year-old teenage boy and injured a 17-year-old teenage girl. Reporting live, I'm Amy Rose Ramos for WJZ.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo.
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
that
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
that's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
But I'm thankful to God that he kept us.
An 83-year-old great-great-grandmother is thankful to be alive tonight after what could have been a life-threatening incident. The ongoing gun violence in Baltimore came crashing into her peaceful home last Friday. Hello, everyone. I'm Vic Carter. Welcome to those of you who are watching on CBS News Baltimore and on WJZ TV. WJZ is live tonight. We sat down with that survivor. Christina Mendez shares her message to the person who pulled the trigger. Christina.
She called.
Vic, Marjorie Tyson says that these young people simply need to put the guns down and more attention needs to be focused on bettering their future. And she
Lord have mercy. How long has a sister grandma been telling the young people to put the guns down?
hopes through faith one day she'll be able to see that for her city.
If my commitment to you cools down, Father, send the loving heat of your Holy Spirit to awaken and warm up my faith.
This is the scripture Marjorie Tyson was reading in bed early Friday morning when suddenly she felt a sharp pain in her arm.
I thought it was a bug on it. It bit me.
It was much worse. A stray bullet went through her window on Wakefield Road and went straight into her arm.
Went in up here and it came down out here.
Missing major arteries and bones.
But it was the pain that went from the bullet went in and it went through and it came out here. And I was screaming because it was hurting.
Two of her sons were home at the time and heard the cries for help. After calling 911, Marjorie was taken to the hospital. Following a brief stint there, she's now recovering at home.
Wow. Can't even be in your own home with your grandma without these super gremlins getting on demon time.
What is your message to the city and to the people who are committing these crimes?
And I just want to have faith and believe that something's going to be happening to stop these boys from shooting and killing each other.
Marjorie, the matriarch of her growing family, says she's thankful to be here another day with faith at the forefront.
I thank God the moose, because it could have been worse.
The bullet was given to police here as evidence. If you happen to know anything about this case, give their agency a call. Reporting live tonight, I'm Christina Mendez for WJZ.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.